welcome again to the interview with Meet the Drivers. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm Sean from KP Performance. I run the Pacific Northwest RockBounce series. Um, I've been into the off-road scene, pretty much my whole life. 1-to-1 scale. Been into RCs, I'd say 6-7 years now.
What kind of RCs other than bouncers have you had?
My first RC was actually a drift car, a little $50 drift car, and then I stepped it up to a axial Wraith. Started beating the crap out of that thing. Then around 2016-17, I decided to build my first tube chassis. It looked good, didn't perform good. So then I built my second buggy, which I named Blue Magoo, and again, it looked all right. Didn't perform the best because I ran 90s. Not a fan of that. So then I ended up building what I have right now, the Green Goblin, aka Green Squid. That's where I'm at right now.
Right on. So the chassis is completely your design.
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk about it? Definitely a long wheelbase.
Yeah, so I run 120 mil shocks, 4 in the front, 2 in the rear. Might change that up. I set it up for a lot of drop in the back, not as much in the front. We ended up raising the rear upper links for a better angle and geometry. We ended up cutting skid plate, doing our own mounts for the rear trailing arms so we could have straight trailing arms, because if you know anything about the Wraith skid plate, you're not going to have straight trailing arms, and that's just not going to perform right. Other than that, I usually have 1.9 XL boggers, cut in the rear, non-cuts front. Sway bar is very necessary if you're going to rock bounce. Did I say big KV? A lot of screws, a lot of bolts, nuts.
Perfect. Well, we do know it performs. Past videos and past 2 events shows that it definitely does what it wants you want it to do.
Yeah, as long as I can keep it off its lid.
That's a challenge for all of us.
Again, kind of like my brother, I had the same situation on when we went to the first race, which was with Blue Magoo. It just didn't perform right. I ended up not doing good at all. DNF, I think the first hill or second hill. And my brother was messing around with me, telling me he's going to build a chassis, telling me he's going to outperform me. So, that sparked something in me, and I had to go home, build something with big shocks, big KV, long wheelbase.
So it sounds like you and your brother a competitive driving force in both of your guys' innovations and designs.
Yeah, we kind of in a way are a racing / chassis build team. We're kind of competitive when it comes to building our rigs and racing it, which obviously is just going to push the envelope for other people to upgrade and do what's necessary to stay on top.
Right on. That's the name of the game right there.
Right.
All right. Well, have you ever been to any major RC events, and which ones, and any ones that you would think about attending in the future?
I have never been to any RC racing other than this series I'm running right now. But we have the KOH Mayhem event coming up in August. There is, I think it's August. And then there's another SRS race in Tennessee early in August that we are going to try to go to. and run that series. And other than that,
you guys are definitely in it to win it. And again, you drive 3+ hours each way to the Pacific Northwest Bouncer events, usually once a month. We got to commend you for that as well. That's definitely shows commitment. Something you love to do. That's pretty cool.
Right.
What do you got coming up in the future?
So for KOH, I got a U4 rig that I'm building. I'm about 35% done with the chassis, so I'll have a new chassis build out there. It's a little different than I'm used to. I'm used to building rock bouncers, and they take on a whole different shape and a lot of straight tubes. I'm not used to straight tubes. I like to bend those things. And other than that, so we got the Ultra 4 rig I'm building, and then I've been putting a lot of thought into my 2020 rock bounce build, which I'm not going to go into that at all. You guys will end up seeing it eventually.
Cool.
But
so of the places you've either tested and tuned your bouncers or raced, where has been your favorite thus far?
My favorite.
Right here.
My favorite place to test and tune and overall thrash my rig is right behind me here at Sawtail, where you can shoot your guns and wreck your RC bouncer in Malala, Oregon.
Yeah, that's definitely some tested, proven grounds right here. This hardcore lines, lots of rocks, loose silt.
Right.
You get pretty much everything you need to test your bouncer.
Yep, you got a little bit of dirt, got a little bit of rock. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything else you want to let the viewers know?
Yeah, just know I'm looking to podium for this season, and I'm gonna try my best.
What do you like most about the whole bouncer series?
I think my favorite part is showing up and knowing I'm not the only one out there being competitive. I'm not the only one want to be on the podium and push my rig to be able to do what it needs to do and upgrade what needs to be upgraded.
Nice. It's definitely a good time. Appreciate you taking time to do the interview, and we look forward to seeing you in future events.
Thank you.
Throwing that thing at some hills.
All right.